Hello there, this is Rom coming back at you with yet another car video, and I have the lovely Miss Mocha Angel with me, and we're going to address something that I was kind of talking about, I think it was yesterday. I do so many videos. Different women just like different types of men as far as body types and looks, personality, all of that stuff. So it's very basic. And, you know, a lot of Bammers don't want to listen to me, so I'm bringing a lady in here. So, yeah, so basically, Miss Angel, you can tell him. Y'all don't all like the same man. He don't all have to look like Chad.
No.
Or Tyrone.
No, of course not.
And even though there's a lot of talk about height, y'all will deal with a guy who might not be 6'2".
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's only about 3% of men globally even over 6'2".
Mm-hmm.
But y'all just like different things. Like I said, you got some Bammers out there. They ain't gonna listen to me. They gonna think whatever. So I said, okay. Y'all can have one lady talk about it. Don't make me bring on several more. I know some dudes would be like, yeah, bring on several more. Whatever. Y'all gonna listen? We got Miss Angel in the car with us. So, this camera ain't gonna get us both good, but that's okay. That's okay.
No.
That's okay. But go ahead, Miss Angel. You tell them.
No. Everybody has a type. Everybody has a preference. And a lot of it has to do with charisma too, you know. So also, I would also say women are also influenced by their fathers, whether they're in their lives or not. So like to what kind of man that they're interested in. So I remember Mary J. Blige said a long time ago when she was dealing with dude from Jodeci. I guess it was JoJo. I don't know, but whatever, one of the dudes from Jodeci. And anyway, so it was like after they broke up, you know, she said, you know, he was just like my dad. You know, he was, you know, mysterious. You know, he was dark, he was handsome, and he wasn't around. Mm-hmm. Okay, and I thought the and he wasn't around part was kind of interesting. It's like, you know, we gravitate toward, you know, what we know.
You know what?
Yes.
It's interesting you said that because I said that yesterday because I said the real imprint isn't like, well, the first three guys you get with, but, or the first one, but the father.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Oh, yeah, the dad is the first imprint. So, yeah, if you have daughters, yeah, you are definitely, however you are, whatever you are, that's what they know about men because with a dad, the dad is a woman's first love. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's the first man who loves her. So, if he's not around, that's an imprint. I mean, that I've seen that. We've both seen that. I think of one person in particular. I'm not naming names anymore. But dad died while her mom was pregnant with her, and that definitely haunted her and influenced her relationship with men for the rest of her life. 100%. We'll talk about it afterwards. And if dad is around and it's like their relationship with their daughter is the imprint and it influences how she views men and the kind of men she deals with, you know, as she dates, you know, and never even gets married. That is a definite. That has happened to me. That has happened to every woman I know as I got to know them in their relationships with their dads. 100%.
Yeah, so does that mean, okay, I'm gonna be devil's advocate.
Okay,
so
sure.
So if dad isn't 6'2" with a square jaw, but maybe 5'9" and a little pudgy, he ain't super muscular. Does that mean the woman is still going to deal with that type?
Okay, here's the thing. Here's what I think, honestly. I guess there's a two-part answer to that. One, she's gonna, okay, how do I say this? As far as looks are concerned, I think who she's attracted to physically is a purely individual thing. Okay. It's not that the guy looks like her dad. Because the part two to that answer is you go for the guy who treats you the same way your dad did.
Oh, okay.
Okay, if that's part two.
Oh, okay. I want to get into that a little bit more because one of the problems I'm seeing with a lot of guys out here, they think it's just a physical thing.
No.
They stuck to see. That's something else I said. Yeah, don't think a woman is stuck just on the bait. Yeah, you want to still look good and fix up.
Absolutely.
But that's not the only thing. The bait is just one thing. And you said it best. I don't even talk about it enough. Just the treatment.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. So, but part 3 to the answer, though, is, again, now that I'm older, it's once you start healing the issues, whatever your issues are with your dad, okay, whatever they are, then that's when, like, the kind of man you go for starts to evolve. Because you've evolved through the healing and the trauma and, whatever the issues are. So then you start maybe dating or marrying different kinds of men.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying? Because now you're not stuck in, okay, this was my relationship with my dad.
Oh, okay.
Or he looks like my dad, or he acts like my dad.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, the thing about it is, you have to be, like, aware. Because I've learned that, women, okay, if this is just for heterosexual people, okay? So that women go, how their dad treats them affects the kind of men they go for, and then for men, how their mom was to them affects the kind of women they go for. Okay, and people can argue that to death, but I've seen it over and over and over and over again, just in, like, my real life. I mean, I'm not a scientist, but I've seen it enough and talked to enough people to where, like, that's true for, like, dang near everybody.
Yeah.
And, like, I'll give another example. I'm again, no names, but, like, one of my closest friends actually, dad was, like, really controlling. So the guy she married didn't look anything like him, but he was very controlling. You see what I'm saying? And I think that was, like, unconscious. An unconscious decision, but I think people get stuck in these energetic patterns.
Okay.
It's patterns, and until you are aware of it, she was able to break out of that over time with time and counseling. But it's not about looks. It's about, again, I think it's about treatment, and I also think people go for what's familiar. Regardless if you believe in energy or patterns or imprints or whatever, I think as a human being we go for what's familiar.
Oh, okay. Well, it's interesting because now, fellas, let me just be clear. I didn't know what she was going to say. She didn't know she was going to do a video. I was like, hey, you want to do a video? Yeah, she was just like, I ain't ready for no damn video.
Do I look like I'm dressed for a video? I slapped on some lipstick and called it a day because he's like, hey, we're doing a video.
Hey,
okay,
well,
great. I'll be more prepared next time.
Well, we ain't gonna get into why she's riding in the car now. I don't tell y'all everything. But shoot, she was right though, because there's a lot of guys out here who think, oh, it's just looks. And now, y'all paying attention to looks, but then it's also the personality. Indeed. That's why some dudes can think they got everything going on as far as looks, and a woman still don't want them. But energetically, that's not what she's looking for. She might still have some daddy issues to heal.
100%.
Indeed, that's why you might get some young women who might consciously go for an older man because he might have that whatever her dad's energy was, or that bad guy. If she had a bad guy as a father, that dude was just a bad guy, and he wasn't around. She's still looking to solve that on a subconscious level. Yeah, she would still go for it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because I know this dude I went to college with, and he's totally changed. He's totally changed. But I told him, I said, don't be surprised. She bring home your old thug self. Don't be surprised.
Right.
Because this dude, I mean, he was in school, had his do-rag on. Now, he done found religion, found Jesus. And I said, do not be surprised if your daughters bring home somebody like you used to be. And we remember how you used to be. Right.
That's true. That's really true.
Yeah, but no, that's some deep stuff because you get some guys thinking, well, if I have this plastic surgery or I get this height stuff, and you still might not be what a woman want. Every woman gonna want something different. Well, even with looks, even with looks, they might want somebody who is stocky, or they might want somebody who's real big. They could want anything, and then you add in more in. And see, this is something you said something else. What you were talking about, the treatment and everything, that's going more into the man's personality.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, a lot of guys think there's actually some guys online who feel like personality don't mean anything. They're like, oh no, it's just looks. And I already know these dudes ain't getting none. I was like, you ain't dealt with any woman. Because how often have I said to the fellas out there, I said, a woman can think you look good, but until you open your mouth. They'll say he was fine until you open his mouth. And that's just some real stuff right there. That's just some real stuff right there.
Well, can I give you a part 4?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so part 4 is, listen, still work on your sex appeal. Like, please don't, like, get it confused. You still need to work on that. You still need to exercise, eat right, take care of your body, take care of your mind. You still need to do all of that because you're still trying to maximize your sex appeal. Okay? But you can't control who's into you and who's not. Okay?
And see, that's something else too. Well, I said you can influence it, but you still can't. You're right. You can't control that.
No.
You can't control that. But see, a lot of guys, they thinking whatever. They thinking whatever. They thinking, oh, okay, if I just look a certain way, I can get these women.
No.
And it's a lot to it. And you hearing it from someone, you know a lot of ladies.
I know a lot of people. I know a lot of women, yes.
And they be telling you some stuff.
Yes, they do.
They be telling you some stuff. You know I'm going to ask some questions as soon as this
I know.
Yeah, but that's just how I do. But yeah, I said, like, fellas, look, this is what I always say. Work to be your best version of yourself.
Right.
Pay attention to the women who feeling you.
Exactly.
Not just on a physical thing, but a temperament. Whatever your temperament is.
Right.
And like I said, if a woman don't like you, don't worry about it. If she don't feel you,
keep it rolling.
Yeah, because you don't know what's going on with her. I don't care what she look like. I don't care how much money you got. Like I said, you got some guys out there, oh, it's just money. But then the woman, she'll deal with that dude who's sleeping on an air mattress. Because he clicked with her. He hitting something. See, that's the thing. And unless you like a top-level psychologist or something like that, you still not going to get it. You know, these people around.
I know, right? I'm like, well, how did that work? But this is what I'll say. Wait, are we almost done?
Yeah.
Okay. This is what I would say is that I've always said men need to listen to women and women need to listen to men. Because the thing is, like, we think how we think as women. Women do think differently than men and vice versa. And so you have to, instead of listening to other dudes, like, you talk to the women in your life. So, like, when I hear the stuff that Rom says, I'm like, who are these dudes? Like, they don't have, like, sisters and cousins and female friends, and like they don't have women around them. You know, I'm like, if you just talk to them, you'll understand. I mean, yeah, we can be complicated. I understand that. We are hormonal. Like, that's the truth. You know, and men are more fixed emotionally. And it's kind of like we look at men sometimes and go, how can you just be so steady and so like unemotional and, you know, and then y'all looking at us like, how can you be so emotional? Like, why don't you just calm down? Don't ever tell a woman to calm down. I swear, if you don't want to get any that night, please don't ever say calm down. Like, that's like one of the worst sentences you can ever say to a woman. Okay. Just as an aside. But what I'm saying is we really don't get each other. So like, I have learned over the years to talk to men who are heterosexual, because gay men do think differently. Okay. So to heterosexual men, because I'm like, I need a heterosexual man's perspective on whatever my, you know, relationship issue is. And so if you're a man, like, talk to another woman. And I'm gonna give you a really quick example, like super quick example. My barber, obviously, you see, I get my hair cut on a regular basis. I have a barber who's a dude who's married, and just to be super general about it, like he just asked me a question, and like the way his wife was thinking, and I said, oh, and I gave him my answer as a woman, and he was like, you know what, I'm glad I asked you, and he goes, you know what, you saved me a headache tonight. I said, you're welcome. Mm-hmm. You're welcome. And this dude been married like forever. Mm-hmm. Okay, so like just talk to the opposite sex. Like we don't bite unless you want us to. So we don't bite. Just be like, yo, I got this issue with my woman, or can I ask you a question about women? And if she's cool with you, she'll be like, yeah, sure, what you need. That's what I would say. That's what I would say. We all have our own preferences for the kind of dudes we go for. And that's true.
Yeah, she don't bite unless you want to. You be watching some of my videos, don't you?
Yeah.
See, I gotta watch what I say sometimes. Yeah, that's why sometimes y'all don't get some things. But anyway, just wanted to say that real quick. Really take in what she's saying if you really want to learn. Remember, like women, don't think you can just get them just on how you look, or even if you don't look like Chad or Tyrone, that don't mean you ain't gonna get them.
Right.
You just be your best
self.
Your best self.
Right.
See which group of women like you. Out of 4 billion and counting women on the planet, somebody like your ass. So that's all you have to do. So once again, Miss Angel, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So that's all I have. You have anything else you want to say to these Bammers?
No, I thought I was Miss Mocha Angel. I was Miss Mocha Angel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's it. Be your best self, guys, and listen to the women in your life. That's it.
Okay. Anyway, I'll holler at y'all. Peace.
Bye.